is really where the real fun begins because over the past two sessions, we've been talking about this big picture and dreaming about what you want your life to be and how you want things to go and what areas of your life you need to focus on most and what areas maybe you need to scale back on. And now that we've done that and we've set some benchmarks that we need to reach, we're going to take a look at actually putting forth the effort and taking those steps to get us closer and closer to our dream life that we've been talking about for the last two sessions. Goal setting really only goes so far. And if you're not willing to take that first step to get you where you want to go, then you will always stay right where you are. So this is about taking action. It's really important for you to understand that you've made it into the top of all people who do goal setting and all people who have dreams that they want to achieve. You are to the action step, which is 95% ahead of everyone out there who dreams and sets goals and things like that. We talked in our first session about failure rates and how quickly people fail at attempting to achieve their goals. And that really boils down to this step here where we talk about action. This is where the rubber meets the road and you start taking those steps each and every day, moving you closer and closer to your final destination, which is that dream that we talked about. One of the most important aspects of taking action is understanding how your environment and the company that you keep affects your ability to achieve your dreams. Now, please don't take that to mean that we're saying don't be friends with certain people or don't, cut people out of your lives. That's not what we're saying at all. What we're trying to help you understand is that your environment and the things that you surround yourself with are those things that can propel you forward and help you to achieve your dream. Or conversely, they're those things that can prevent you from achieving your dream. And one of those important aspects is the people that you surround yourself with. If you surround yourself with naysayers that tell you why and how you can't do it, you will start to believe that you can't do it. And as we found out, you can, earlier in our sessions, you can achieve anything that you want to achieve, but you have to take these steps in order to make that happen. And in order to do that, people, whether they're introverted or extroverted, people need to have other people in their lives. And you surround yourself with people who are as passionate as you are about achieving goals and about success. And success doesn't necessarily have to be monetary or related to your career. This can be success as we defined it in our earlier sessions based on that wheel of life that you completed. If you surround yourself with people who are as passionate about doing things and as passionate about achieving their dreams as you are, and you surround yourself with people who are positive, you are more likely to be successful in what you're trying to do. You're going to have enough stumbling blocks along the way in your life. And as people say, life's going to happen. You're going to have those stumbling blocks. And if you're surrounded by people who are always telling you why you can't do something, when you reach one of those stumbling blocks or roadblocks, they're going to give you all of the reasons why you have set yourself up to fail at achieving your dreams. They're going to tell you why you can't go on and why you can't complete what you're trying to accomplish. And that is actually not the case at all. So your environment and the people that you surround yourself with shouldn't be one of the roadblocks that you have to overcome. And you should encourage yourself to talk to people and work with people who want you to succeed and want you to achieve your dreams and know that you can do it and give you that encouragement when you do reach those roadblocks, those stumbling blocks, or those down times, because that happens to everyone, even those people who are the most successful. They get down on themselves sometimes. They get beat up by life, and that makes it so hard to keep taking those baby steps and moving yourself forward. And if you've got your support network around you that is encouraging you and uplifting you and telling you that you can do it and motivating you through positive reinforcement, you're more likely to move forward. We saw this a lot in training of horses. There was a period of time where people thought that they needed to be overly aggressive or manhandle their horses to get them to do what they want. And then they found the positive reinforcement training methods, and they found that horses would do more for people if they did have that positive reinforcement. People need the same thing. So you want to surround yourself with people that are positive, uplifting, encouraging, and give you that positive reinforcement you need to become successful and achieve your dreams. Next, we need to think about keeping our eye on the prize. Like I said, you're going to have detours, you're going to have stumbling blocks and things that are not going quite the way you want them to. And you need to have a way to bring yourself back to that vision that you created, that vision that you had when we were talking about our dreams in session one. Because again, life's going to happen and it's going to take you away from it. And life does sometimes get in the way. Things happen that you didn't anticipate or that were unexpected in your life. And if you lose sight of what that big picture is, what that dream is, then you're going to struggle to achieve that because you're going to get waylaid or detoured and moved away from what you're trying to accomplish. Don't get lost in life. It's very easy to do. We've got jobs, we've got family, we've got responsibilities that we have, and those things can inundate you and take you away from the things that you're trying to accomplish, whatever they may be. That's not to say don't pay your bills. It's not to say don't go to work. It's not to say, don't spend time with your family. As we talked about with the Wheel of Life, we need to have that balance. But with that balance comes the ability to give yourself the time to move yourself towards those dreams and goals. So if you stay focused on your vision and your goals, they're going to provide you with the tools that you need to overcome the adversities that you face. And that's why we did that roadmap in session 2, where we talked about those benchmarks that you were trying to reach. Those are things that you should keep in front of you at all times. Put them up on a wall somewhere, put them in a binder, put them somewhere where they're going to be at the forefront every single day. Take a snapshot and mark it as your home screen on your phone. That way you can keep that in front of you to help you keep your eye on the prize when life is happening and overwhelming you on that day-to-day basis. We need to create habits in our own lives. And there was a saying going around for a long time that it takes 21 days to create a habit. That's actually not accurate. According to psychological studies, it actually takes 66 days, which is pretty close to 2.5 months to create a new habit in your mind, in your body. You have to give yourself that time. And the way that you create habits is by religiously and repetitiously doing the things that you need to do. So each and every day, you need to do one thing that takes you closer to your goal. And again, that's why we set that roadmap out there so that you could look at that and say, okay, this is where I need to be, and this is the time frame that I need to be there in. And in this session, with the worksheets that we have, we're going to talk about how you set up your days to get you there. But each and every single day, you should take one thing and do it that's going to push you closer to the goals that you have. In the course of a year, if you do one thing every single day to get you closer to your goal, you're 365 steps closer to your goal. If you do 3 things a day, you're a little over 1,000. These are the baby steps that you have to take on a daily basis that put you closer to your goal. And if you do that every single day, you're moving closer and closer and closer to the goals that you have set, the big dream picture that you have. If you choose not to do that one day, then you set yourself behind and it makes it harder to catch up because then you feel that overwhelm that we talked about early on in session one about what causes people to fail at achieving their goals and dreams. They underestimate things, they get overwhelmed by it. And a lot of that comes from not making your goals and your dreams a habit, creating that habit in your lifestyle and allowing yourself the time to be able to do those things. We talked about accountability in our first session too, and that was part of what caused people to fail from achieving their dreams. In accountability, part of the reason we're giving you pen and paper or documents that you can write in is so that you can hold yourself accountable for your dreams. You need to write it down, you need to tell someone, and you need to make it public. You need to let people know that this is where you're going. Because, like I said, whether you're introverted or extroverted, people need people in their lives. And people don't like to let those people in their lives that matter to them down. So when I say you need to have people in your lives, we talked about having the right people in your life to help you achieve your dreams. And you tell those right people what you're trying to do, and they will help you and ask you about it. And when they ask you about it, that's your opportunity to tell them where you are and how things are going. And they're going to be there to pick you up when you say, I feel like I'm totally overwhelmed and out of my league. They're also going to be there to cheer you on when you have done something or you've reached a benchmark, and that's going to motivate you even more. By making it public like that, you are setting a standard up for yourself because you know that you've told people what you want to do and you don't want to let them down. We find it very, very easy. It's human nature to be okay with letting ourselves down. But if we tell someone that matters to us what we're trying to do or what we're trying to accomplish, we don't want to let them down by not accomplishing it. So you're setting yourself up for success because you're telling people who care about you, who want you to achieve these things, what you're trying to do. And then you set up a standard for yourself that you don't want to let them down. So that accountability helps to move you forward during those tough times that are going to happen. Momentum. If you've ever tried running down a hill and then you started to lean forward, you understand the importance of momentum. If you are watching a race or something like that, you'll notice that runners tend to lean forward at the end of the race to carry their momentum forward. They propel themselves forward. This is the same thing with your goal setting. People who succeed have momentum, and the more they succeed, the more they want to succeed, the more ways they find to succeed. And that's really, really important. And why it's so important to set those benchmarks and give yourself those early successes, because the earlier you experience a success, the more you want to achieve success again because of the way it makes you feel. If you set your first benchmark so far out that you don't achieve success for a long time, then you're going to lose motivation and that momentum to keep you going. So set your benchmarks in a way that you can achieve success early on in the process and continue achieving success. Because the more times you do that, the more motivated you become to continue doing that. The same thing applies in the opposite direction. If you're not achieving the things that you want to achieve, the tendency is for that downward spiral to start. And then the next thing you know, this dream is pushed off to the side because you have other things going on and you don't have time. And there's a million and one excuses as to why you can't keep going forward. And so you create that self-fulfilling prophecy of, oh, there's no way I can do this because, whatever the reason is. So success breeds success. And the more success you experience, the more you want to experience success, and the more you will try to find ways to make that keep happening. So keep that momentum going. Give yourself those benchmarks to show that you've achieved something. And as you check those off, then you can see your progress and you can see how far you've come. Winston Churchill said, "Success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts." This pertains specifically to those roadblocks that are going to get in the way. The more success that you have, the more successful you want to be, the more you want to continue doing that. But one success is not the end. The same as this big dream that you have today is not the end. When you get to that dream, there's going to be something else that you want to achieve, things that you learned along the way that may have motivated you and, you know, moved your focus in another direction that makes that dream an excellent dream to achieve. But then there's something else you want to do after this. And if you have a setback or a roadblock, remember that that is not the end. It doesn't mean that you can't keep going. It just means you have to look for a way around the roadblock that you faced. You never fail until you quit trying. So if you continue to try each and every day, you haven't failed at anything. You have to know that you can keep going and that these roadblocks are just a stepping stone to move you in the right direction. Maybe there's a lesson you need to learn. Maybe there's some wisdom you need to take away from that roadblock that will help you achieve that dream, help you move forward, and help you find that next interest that you're longing for. And so, as I said earlier, these dreams are not set in stone. They're not rigid. They have an ebb and a flow, and they mold and shape and grow as we grow. So you have to keep moving forward. You have to have the courage to know that when you hit a roadblock, you just have to move around it and go on. We mentioned in our earlier sessions that the keys to success were to have a dream, envisioning that life of fulfillment and getting it down on paper, and then creating that plan or roadmap through goal setting. Our second session was all about goal setting and setting those benchmarks and creating that roadmap for you to continue on your journey to reaching that dream that you have. And this session is all about taking baby steps and action in the right direction every single day. There shouldn't be a day that goes by that you don't do something that moves you towards that goal. So where are your dreams going to take you? In this session, in your web portal, you have, or your dashboard rather, you have other slides and worksheets in there. So on your worksheets for this session, we're talking about taking consistent action. These steps are not roadblocks. They are the road that are going to move you forward. So this is your daily habits. In the worksheet that you get in this session talks about the baby steps. These are not the major milestones that you set in session 2. These are the little things that you do every single day to get you closer. So for instance, the example we give is if you are going to a dressage show, for instance, and you have to memorize your test, the show is coming up, you need to write out these baby steps to get you ready for the show. One of them is going to be reviewing your old dressage tests so you know where you need to improve. Maybe it's reviewing your dressage tests to memorize them or practicing them on foot so that you memorize them. And then you're going to use these baby steps to schedule time over the next 7 days to get you into that frame of mind and get you taking those baby steps. And then the second page of this is your daily planner. And on your daily planner, it outlines the hours of the day, what your weekly goals are, and you should write in there what those weekly goals are, and then plan your day around those. Obviously, you're going to put your work life in there and your family time in there and all of those things. And those are part of that wheel of life. But you also need to allocate that time for your dreams. And so you're going to use these forms to be able to do this. And by the time you have printed all this off and make as many copies of this as you need to. Make 365 copies of the Daily Planner. That's 365 days in 1 year. At the end of 1 year, you're going to be able to look back and see all the progress that you've made and all the things that you've done to move yourself towards those goals. This does seem like a very regimented and structured lifestyle, especially if you're not used to living this way, if you're used to kind of flying by the seat of your pants. But once you get into the routine of creating a schedule for yourself and living by that schedule, you'll find that it's much easier every single day to allocate that time towards the things that you want to achieve in your life. So, that being said, yes, you should document, or write down everything that you want to achieve and how you're going to go about do that and your daily log so that you can accomplish the things that you want to do. But bearing in mind that sometimes that schedule is going to go amiss and sometimes things are going to happen that take you away from that schedule. But if you have it written down, you can go back the next day and see what items you didn't get completed and what you need to pick up. And you can allow yourself some makeup time throughout the week to do the things for the life happened moments that are going to come throughout your life. One of my greatest desires is that I can help you achieve your dreams and help you get closer and closer to your goals. So, if you feel comfortable and you want to share your dreams with someone in that tell someone phase that's going to uplift and encourage you, by all means, feel free to write a comment, shoot us an email, let us know, because we're here to support you in that goal as well. And we want you to succeed. I've got people all over the world that reach out to me and say, hey, this is what I'm doing. And we congratulate your successes. We encourage you when you're down. We help you through the process. So that's my sincerest hope, is that you'll take me up on that and we can be one of the people in your corner pushing you towards your dreams. I'm so glad that you joined us through this process, and I'm so glad that you were a part of what we were doing with the dream building. I hope that you will let us know how you're doing. I hope that you will let us know what your dreams are and what you're doing to set yourself up for success with those. And we look forward to helping you with some of our other training classes and other things that we have available on our website to help you achieve those dreams that you have. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.